This is Shel Marcus, the Morton Grove Village Trustee, bringing you the update and review of the Village of Morton Grove's board meeting on February 28, 2011. The meeting was called to order at 7 o'clock by President Dan Stackman. We did the Pledge of Allegiance and the roll call, which is standard, and approved minutes of previous meetings. There was a special report that was made by James and Yvette Karp, representing the Morton Grove Foundation, identifying the fact that the Morton Grove Foundation is having their annual Taste of Morton Grove on March 10th at the White Eagle Restaurant. And we invite everybody from the community to come and join, because they'll have some special silent auction, and they'll be also giving away some wonderful cash prizes on raffles everywhere from $4,000 to $500. So it should be a good evening, and everybody's invited to come and attend. In addition to that, there were some President's Report. President Stackman proclaimed February 28th to March 5th Severe Weather Preparedness Week, and there will be a meeting that will be held in the Civic Center, and more information about that will be coming forth so that you are prepared about the special severe weather preparedness. Under the Clerks Report, there were a number of items that the clerk read. First and foremost, he acknowledged the fact that Bethany Terrace on Waukegan Road in Morton Grove opened their brand new Terrace Gardens assisted living facility and Alzheimer's facility. And yours truly and Trustee Maria Toth and John Thill were there representing the village, as was John Sadd, our economic developer, Ed Hildebrand, our building director, and of course Joe Wade, our village administrator. There was an announcement that there is a new restaurant coming to Morton Grove that we're all excited about, called Crazy Jaws Restaurant, which will have a ribbon cutting at 4 p.m. on Tuesday, March 8th. They'll be located at 9001 Waukegan Road, and this is a wonderful new restaurant with Cajun cooking, and we invite all the residents of Morton Grove to visit that, because it is something that we're so proud of to have coming to Morton Grove. Also, I wanted to mention that the Homestead of Morton Grove, a new senior citizen development that's going up, will have their groundbreaking ceremony on Tuesday, April 5th. And also a reminder from the clerk that the elections will also be on Tuesday, April 5th at that time. And there'll be early voting for those who want to vote early from March 14th to March 31st. They will be on the second floor of the Village Hall. For those of you who will not be able to vote on April 5th, can vote from March 14th to March 31st. I also want to mention that during the report of our department heads, Boyle Wong talked and gave a presentation about our new Citizens Support Center. It is a unique support center that communicates to our residents who have questions about things going on in the village, or questions they have about things that they want to get responses for and answers for, such as, can I get my pothole fixed, or what do I need a permit to put up a particular building in the backyard, or a shed. There is a new, under our website, www.mortongroveil.org, our new website has a Citizens Support Center page. And if you go to that Support Center page, you'll be able to answer a lot of questions without actually having to come in to the village. And if there's a question that you need an answer on, by using that particular page, you will also find that Morton Grove will be able to come and answer to you as well. So that's another service, another enhancement of communicating to the village and the residents of our community. Under reports from our trustees, Trustee DeMaria reported on Ordinance 1104, which was a second reading, which is the amendment for a special use permit for the property located at 6400 Lincoln for exceptions to the Unified Development Code for sidewalks and lot coverage, and that was passed. And then there was a first reading, Ordinance 1110. Once again, we're very excited about it here at Morton Grove, because it was an authorization of an economic incentive and tax increment allocation financing development agreement between the village and Keith R. Jackson. Keith R. Jackson, for those of you who do not know, is the owner of Pequod's Restaurant, and Pequod's is going to be moving their restaurant to the site over by the railroad station this year, and they are building a 2-story building that will house also an outdoor garden up on the roof, and it should be a fabulous, fabulous restaurant facility that we're adding here to Morton Grove. And again, things seem to be looking up here in Morton Grove as we see restaurants coming in and we see these new facilities, which we hope all of our residents will be participating in. There was no report from either Trustee Greer, and there was a report from yours truly, Trustee Marcus, that had to do with Resolution 1111, the purchasing of police vehicles through the Illinois State Bid Procurement Program. We do this on a regular basis every so often, like every 4 years, to make sure that all of our police cars are up to date and they're efficient, because they are being used 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and so it is important for us to keep them in top running condition. And so that was passed as well, and that was budgeted for in the budget, so there was no additional money that was needed for that. We already had budgeted for that. Trustee Thill had a number of resolutions, Resolution 1105, 1106, 1107, 1108, and 1109, which had to do with parking zones, and it really was just an updating of our present ordinance, and that helped in that particular area. He also had Resolution 1109, 1109, and 11010, which was the execution of some maintenance that we basically had already decided we were doing, separate contracts with Arrow Road Construction, and we execute a contract on protective maintenance for the traffic signal lights. That basically covered all of the ordinances that we had. Under Maria Toth's presentation as trustee, Maria talked about, she was one of the individuals who was at the Bethany Terrace ribbon cutting, and acknowledged the fine cooperation between the village building departments and the architects and construction people, and from that basis she thanked them for their support. She also mentioned, of course, that we have just been informed by our department head that in Morton Grove, starting in 2010, we had over 82 new business licenses that have been sent out, which is a good indication in terms of the economic upturn in terms of our community. And finally, she had said that we all are very, very proud of our restaurants here in Morton Grove, particularly so many of our wonderful pizza restaurants. And she mentioned specifically that Bert's Pizza, which has been a long time locale here in Morton Grove, was just selected as one of the top 25 restaurants in the United States under the Wine and Food magazine. It is quite an honor for Bert and his lovely wife who run that particular establishment, and for us here in Morton Grove to have it located here. So again, I reiterate, please visit our local restaurants and establishments, because those are ones that we all benefit from. We had a presentation of warrants. There was some discussion with regard to some of the warrants of $452,407.29. And then we had residents' comments. And there were some comments from some residents regarding the Gulf 67 School District and whether or not the village had heard from the District 67 or the Park District about Wren Park, or about the status of Gulf 67. The response is that we have had no response at all from either Gulf 67 or Park District. Finally, I want to also mention President Dan Stackman acknowledged the fact that we all took a moment acknowledging the fact that Trustee Bill Greer and his wife Janice, our deepest sympathies of Janice's father passing, and President Stackman acknowledged that at the meeting as well. And we all wish him our deepest regrets. District. The meeting was then closed at approximately 7:44, and that was the meeting for February 28th.